Where's Shannon's video? Where's this video? We gotta talk about this. I agree. I just wanted to see what the numbers were, and this is the reported numbers. Mikhail Sergachev signs a 3-year, $14.4 million extension with Tampa for an average of $4.8 million, which everybody's saying that's a steal. It's a Timo Meier deal. Timo Meier's deal looks pretty good cap-wise, but you got to read between the lines. Sergachev does not hurt himself at all here. According to Cap Friendly, the numbers go as follows: 2.4 million to 4.8 million to 7.2 million. So it averages out to 4.8 million, but he's a restricted free agent at the end of it, meaning they have to qualify him at $7.2 million at the end of this in 2023. So his starting price is $7.2 million 3 years down the road. They've kicked the can down the road. It's a victory for Tampa. I'm just saying, for anybody who says, hey, Sergachev really did the Tampa Bay Lightning a favor, he did himself a favor while he was at it. So this is a very good deal for Tampa. But people forget, we're in a flat cap world. So players, if you get a raise one spot, somebody else is going to lose their job. That's how that's going to work. Somebody else's money is going to go. The team has no cap space. They have negative $1.9 million in cap space, and they still haven't signed Cirelli. So if you're a general manager, you're watching this right now, you've got to be saying, gee, if we did an offer sheet right now on Cirelli, I don't know how they'd be able to match that. They'd have 7 days to match an offer sheet. And so if you're going to steal Cirelli, today's a good day to put in an offer sheet on him. And we'll see if anything happens. I don't think it does, because the teams that have cap space, like Ottawa, like New Jersey, the Kings, Detroit, they're not teams that are going to swing for the fences on an offer sheet, because they're not one player away from being a contender. They're not in a position to start sacrificing draft picks in exchange for Cirelli, who's a very good young forward. But again, you don't want to be giving up draft picks to add Cirelli, and then maybe that draft pick comes back to haunt you later. But we'll see. We'll see if that ends up being the case. So Sergachev is staying with Tampa. They've got this figured out, but they need to get under the cap before the season starts. This means waiving players to the minors or buying out contracts or something along those lines. And they can. They can buy out a contract if they need to. Now that they've signed Sergachev to get under the cap. So we'll see if anything happens. Remember, they've been trying to trade Tyler Johnson. There just haven't been any takers. Everybody's in the same situation. Lucas Dostal of the News of the Day video last week, he's on his way back to North America. So players are still packing up, doing well in Europe, as Dostal did in Europe, playing really well over there, and they're packing up and coming over here to play. What's interesting, too, is that in Dostal, this is a player who may very well be a number 3 on their list and may end up in the AHL. So I think what's going to be interesting to see as we get closer to prospective training camps, we're going to see whether or not some of these AHL level guys, maybe teams say, stay where you are because we don't know when the AHL is starting up. So that's a possibility. Or in this case, it's coming over. Or maybe the Anaheim Ducks are saying, hey, we'll give him a shot at the backup job behind Gibson. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Again, there's lots of players coming into North America and getting ready for a training camp, even though we haven't seen any movement. I've been doing a constant refresh on anything. I'm like, something's got to happen soon here. It was 15 days ago I did a video saying we should know soon when the start date is. Keep in mind, that start date, the NHL's wanted it to be January 1st. It may very well be that they know it's going to be January 15th or February 1st. And again, the saber rattling between the NHLPA and the NHL itself can be maddening. And it's not about feeling bad for one side or the other. It's about looking at it from an objective perspective and saying, you know what? All right, you guys need to work this out. You assume 50% of the revenues. You assume 50% of the potential shortfalls. Sit down, figure out the number, figure this out going forward, and then everybody zip it, and we'll just get back to playing hockey. Or if you're not going to, then come back and say you're not going to. It's the saber rattling that drives me nuts. It drove me nuts in 2004, 2012, 1995, well, 94. It is just the way that things worked. And when we got the new CBA and we got the playoffs, and it looked like they were finally working together, and we were getting away from that us versus them mentality between the union and the league. And now that is the feeling you're getting from this. There's never going to be true equity between the two. We know that, even if it's 50-50 split, because 50% between 31 or 32 owners is different than 50% handed to 700 plus players. But it's still you're never going to get that truly equitable, and I don't know. I'd like to know for sure what's happening, because there's a lot of things that I want to do on the channel that I'm kind of keeping on hold. I'm like, I don't know. And there's other things I'm working on, even the jersey countdown, which I've been working on for now a week and a half, and I've got the whole thing printed out and starting to go through it. And I said to Yvonne last night, I said, but when the reverse retros get here, I have to figure out where they are. Maybe I should just wait till I get the reverse retros and then put them in. And she said, yeah, probably. So that's on hold too. And that was what I was doing to keep my mind busy. So come on, NHL, let's get her going. And hopefully with Sergachev being signed, this means other things are going to start happening with other teams as well. For instance, Boychuk's retirement frees up Barzal to hopefully get signed. This will likely be the last video I do for today, but we'll see if something else happens between now and the end of my day at the western end of North America. I am 3 hours behind the East Coast and 4.5 behind Newfoundland. So here you go. Thank you guys so much, though, for all your support. Let me know what you guys think about the signing of Sergachev. And again, it's a really good contract for Sergachev and for Tampa. This is the kind of contract I like because it works for both sides. Let me know your thoughts. Hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. And hey, thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I'll talk to you again soon.